Hello and welcome back to Weekend Cartoon Reviews, or animated films, I don't really know anymore. This time we're going to be reviewing Elemental, and sorry I'm releasing these reviews late at night. Tomorrow the review will not be released this late at night. Anyway, okay, so Elemental's the new Pixar movie that just released in theaters this weekend, and I went and saw it on opening night in 3D. So, yeah, and I could say for sure that this movie was definitely a lot better than I expected. It's not one of Pixar's best movies, but it's not one of their worst ones either. It's a really good movie, in my opinion. Like, I give it like an 8 out of 10. Yeah, that's a fair placement to put it in. But yeah, Elemental was pretty damn good for what it was. I mean, I love rom-coms personally, and I did end up tearing up during the movie. We'll get to that in a bit, though. Like, I just love rom-coms, so... And yeah, there were definitely quite a few funny moments that I definitely laughed during. Like, and it's not like the lame jokes from the trailer, that's not all you're gonna get. Like, I don't know what it is with Pixar making bad trailers, but I guess it pays off because it exceeds your expectations in a way. So I guess this is a good marketing strategy? No, it's not. Because, like, this movie's definitely pretty good. I doubt it'll top a lot of people's favorite Pixar lists, but it's still definitely a good movie for sure. Now, what is this movie about? It's about Wade, the water boy, and Ember, the fire girl. They both, basically something happens in the shop with Ember's dad, and, like, where she loses her temper, which causes a bunch of pipes to burst, so now she has to hide the fact that he did it. But then Wade comes in, he's a city inspector, who, has to write a ticket and then send it off. And then once he realizes, oh shit, this is why she didn't want me to send the ticket in. They both try to figure out the reason why the pipes were burst in the first place. And then, yeah, the two realize they really do love each other and they are romantic. Ember has this arc where she's like, I don't know if I want to run the father's store. I kind of want to rebel now. Well, not really rebel in the traditional sense, but, like, she, as growing up, she really wanted to run her dad's store, which was a theme in the movie. But then she realizes, her telling herself, like, while she's struggling to make connections with her customers when they're difficult, she realizes, maybe I don't want this. Maybe I want something else. And she has a hard time telling her dad that because she believes she has to live up to her father's standards and what he wants her to do. But of course, at the end, like, alright, we'll get into my flaws with this movie in a bit. We'll get to them in a bit. But yeah, that's pretty much the movie's premise. And in the climax, like, okay, wait, no, we'll get to that in a bit, because we're gonna get into some major spoilers in a bit here. And then Wade is an outgoing guy. He's very easy and outgoing. He's funny. He was a great part of the movie. And yeah, him and Ember's relationship, like, the movie, like, as much as I crave for Pixar and Disney to have villains in their movies, like, Pixar's last two villains, if you could even call them villains, I mean, I guess I can. Like, with Zurg, come on. That bullshit twist with Zurg being evil Buzz, come on, that was just bullshit. That made Zurg not really a great villain. And then Urkele from Luca, who's personally my least favorite Pixar villain, and I know that's a very hot take right there. But still, I just don't like him. I found the little shit annoying. Anyway, back to Elemental. Elemental was really good, like I said. Like, I really recommend you all go to the movie theater and see this. I hope this ends up like Puss in Boots 2, where it wasn't doing so great at the box office at first, but then word got out that it was, like, better than Avatar, and people started to go see it, and it ended up making 400 mil as a result. So I hope maybe the same thing happens with Elemental. But obviously, if you'd ask me if Puss in Boots 2 or Elemental was better, I will say Puss in Boots 2. But yeah. Anyway, with all these positives, like that it's funny and the world building's pretty good, like, I mean, some people say it's half-baked, but in my opinion, I disagree, because there are, like, the movie's main focus is on Ember and, Wade, and then the parents tell them, oh yeah, elements can't mix, elements don't mix, but then Ember meets Wade's family, and they're all like, oh my god, holy shit, it's a fire girl, this is the girl you've been going out with, huh? And then Ember's parents are all completely against the idea of elements mixing, And when Wade comes in, there's a scene where Wade comes into the restaurant claiming to be a food inspector after, like, he's investigating the pipes. And then, like, he makes him try the food. And then, like, he does something to piss off Ember's dad, which caused him to get banned from the restaurant. Now, okay, let's go on with my flaws for this movie. Like, there are kind of major problems with it. Like, my most minor flaw possible is the fact that I kind of wish Gale, like she was an air cloud in the movie, had more screen time. And I mean, there's another Earth dude named Claude that's in the movie, and he's a pretty cool character. Like, all he does is try to get Ember to date him. That's really it. I mean, I guess it's weird in a way, but like it's not like weird. It could have been worse, but like he is just a kid. So like it didn't get me to hate the movie, and like the movie isn't like racist or anything. Like I've seen people say that there's a racist scene in the movie. Can you please point out to me which scene that was, because I couldn't find anything racist about the movie. I didn't even bother watching any clips because I wanted to go into this one not blind, but because I did see the trailers for it. And I'll admit, like, the trailers, like, just made me think, maybe I'll like it, maybe it's decent. And when the first batch of reviews came out, I was like, uh-oh. But anyway, on to my next couple of flaws. Okay, so, I think the first act of the movie where it introduces Ember's parents, I think it's just a little bit too long. And I just kind of want the plot to get going. I just kind of want the movie to get going at that point. It doesn't make you lose interest in the movie, and I mean, it's fine to have that at the beginning to establish how Ember's parents got to Element City and everything, but come on, it did not need to be that long. And like, I'm glad though, this benefits one thing, I'm glad this wasn't a generational trauma story. I'm very glad, because like, I thought this was gonna be like another generational trauma story where like, Ember's parents prevent her from even seeing Wade, and I thought it was gonna be one of those, and her and her parents end up having a fight and shit over that. But I'm glad that wasn't the case. I'm very glad, because like I expected that in the movie. Now, on to my next problem with the film. Okay, so there's this part in the movie, of course, like I expected there to be a third act breakup with a movie like this, and it's not like the one that leaked on Twitter, you know, where it claimed that it was gonna go like, I like the word moist, okay? It's who I am, and if you can't accept that, then what's the point? I thought that was fucking hilarious that the internet fell for that. I mean, I didn't. Like, I can't imagine Pixar putting that in a movie, and Pixar's my favorite animation studio. But anyways, the main reason I'm upset is the scene after that. Because, like, Wade and Ember, like I said, their chemistry grows a lot in the movie. And Wade is all like, maybe you don't want this. You don't have to do this. Like, you can be your own person. You don't have to be trapped. And Wade goes to the party where her dad is retiring from the shop to pass it on to her because he believes she's ready. And then this is the scene where they figure out, oh, Ember blew up all the pipes. It was all Ember's fault, and the dad decides to unretire. But Ember and Wade have another fight for no reason. Like, that should have been the scene where Ember realizes, okay, maybe I should step up to the parents. And then, like, a couple minutes later, like a minute or two later, they're all back together. That's what didn't make sense. I felt like that should have been the scene where Ember realizes, oh my god, Wade loves her. But Ember goes like, I don't love you, Wade. And I'm like, no, don't make this ruin the movie. And I'm glad it did not ruin the movie for me. But, like, yeah, it's just, no. Like, you could have definitely trimmed down on this scene, or, like, not had it, or just tweak it a bit to make it look like that. Yeah, you get what I'm saying. You guys get what I'm saying, I hope. They could just tweak it a bit to make it be like Ember realizing, instead of Ember saying, I don't love you to Wade, which was completely unnecessary. But then, anyways, on to my last and final complaint. Like, there's a scene where it baits the audience into thinking that Wade's gonna die in the climax of the movie. And then, like, they bring back a bunch of references that happened, like a scene where they were playing the crying game at Wade's family's house. There was a scene with that, and like Ember used that to like make him to cry to see if he was actually there. And there was just like, they bring back a lot at once for the movie, from old scenes of the movie, which is fine. That's fine. I didn't mind that, but like, they try to play out Wade's death as if he's actually gonna die, and I was just sitting there thinking, no, he's not gonna die. He's not dead. I know he's not dead. No, he's not. And yep, I was right. But I mean, I did tear up during the movie. That wasn't necessarily the scene I teared up. There was a few parts where I teared up at. But yeah, like, they overplayed it. Like, they made it look like Wade's death, what, Wade was gonna be dead. No, he's fucking not. That annoyed me, pretty much, because it's very obvious Pixar isn't gonna kill one of their main characters off. I mean, if they did, it'd surprise me. But, yeah, that's pretty much it for my review on Elemental, and I encourage you guys to really check it out. I know it sounded like at the end of my review that it was pretty negative, but the positives here definitely strongly outweigh the negatives. But one final thing I wanted to mention, I felt like Gale was underutilized, like I said earlier. I felt like she could have easily been the villain of the movie, and it seemed like they were setting her up to be the villain of the movie, but she really wasn't. She was antagonistic, yes, but she wasn't the full-on villain. Now, yeah, there we go. That's all I have to say about this movie. If you want to go check it out, feel free to do so. But yeah, that's it. Bye, everyone.